Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these coins then. We're going to find out what sort of prospects they've got if you're looking to transfer your money out of Matic into another coin which is likely to do some big moves, or is it actually best just left in Matic? Let's have a look, shall we? So first of all, we've got Bitcoin. We'll look at Bitcoin first. So Bitcoin looks to me, and you know, at the moment we are at this level where we could break out and go bullish. There's an argument for that, definitely. It goes against all moving averages. It goes against the fact that we're still in a downwards trend. It goes against quite a few things. But there is a chance that bottom might be in, or has already been in, should I say. I'm not convinced. I think we've still got further to fall down. But you know, we've retraced by 50% now. Bitcoin's got a strong future. It depends how long you want to hold it for. So maybe you could just put your money into Bitcoin and have done with it. Alternatively, we could go to FET. FET is a chart which looks like, I mean, clearly it's already made some big moves. We're getting close to 20% move just from today. But that aside, we have an incoming golden cross here on the 12-hourly chart. We don't have that kind of information on a daily because it's quite a new chart. So we don't really have those kind of moving averages. The volume is not too bad, but it's you know, it's not great. It's a decent coin to have, but at the moment we're still, I would say, coming out of an extremely bearish phase. And until we have some kind of bullish signs, such as that golden cross on a 12-hourly, I'm not entirely sure. What the hell? I do not want pop-ups. Oh my god, I've got a virus. Sorry about this. Oh my god. Sorry about that. So where was I? So yeah, we've already got a golden cross back here in the 4-hourly, hence this nice big fat move. This big move might continue quite easily if we get this golden cross here on the 12-hourly, and I would expect that if we get that, and it looks as though we will get that, we'll be looking to double. Quite easily double our value. I mean, that's only going to go up to this level. I mean, we've been falling down quite dramatically for a while now. We could quite easily double this with that golden cross. That would be an okay choice out of all of these that I'm looking at, to be honest with you. One. So a lot of people are talking about one because Matic and one used to be quite heavily correlated, but Matic obviously took hold of this and has not shared its profit whatsoever with Harmony 1. Now, when we look at the Harmony 1, we're looking at it here on the 4-hourly chart, and we do have little golden crosses here. Looked a little bit weak to me, and we almost had a death cross, but this is only a 4-hourly chart. We go up a notch to the 12-hourly, and we're actually way away from having any kind of golden cross form here. The way that it looks on this looks very messy. It's up and down, weaving in and out of that green 50 exponential moving average, which to me isn't a good sign. That's too volatile. It's not really accumulating, and these pumps here are probably driven off the back of Matic, people throwing their money in without much idea of what they're actually doing. It's not a neat looking chart, to be honest. It could quite easily pump, definitely, but it would be an unstable pump, and I wouldn't like to ride on the back of that one. However, you know, same goes. We need to get ourselves above the 200 exponential on this 12-hourly, and we don't actually have a 200 exponential on the daily, which is a problem for me. So I'd kind of leave that one alone. This one was looking pretty good, and this one's only got a 200 exponential on a 6-hourly, and it looks like there's an incoming golden cross on that one, but it's only a 6-hourly. I'd like to see things on dailies, to be honest with you. We're not going to get one of those. It's gone extremely bullish already, so we've got our golden cross taking place here at this price action at this level here, so maybe this one could be an okay purchase, perhaps. But you know, it's a weird looking chart, and it looks a little too volatile for my liking, so I probably wouldn't bother with that one. Link has fallen out of the sky. Link has found its way down to the 200 exponential moving average as a support. That's actually quite a fall from grace now, breaking below the $2 margin. So if this support holds, which it could quite easily hold, 200 exponentials like to hold quite frequently, to be honest with you. They very, very rarely break in what would be considered a bullish time frame, and a link is clearly bullish, but I do not like the way that this looked, and the fact that we came all the way down, smashing through all these moving averages, and they all start facing down, because this is a big fall, so over $1. And now we're balancing on here. I would expect us to be bouncing around on here for a little longer, and perhaps maybe even break it to the down. We see how steep this incoming 50 is. That could cause a really bearish cross, bringing the price down even further to perhaps as low as $1 or lower. So as much as it sounds like this is a great opportunity to buy Chainlink at this low price, I think it looks to me like it does want to come down lower. So perhaps it would be a good buy, but not today. I don't like the idea of it. It looks a little scary to me. Doesn't look bullish, let's face it. That's Matic on Satoshis. Now Dusk is a strange one. Dusk is a very immature chart, and it's not the sort of thing I like the look of generally, because I like my charts to have a little bit of maturity about them. They have to at least have a 200 exponential moving average on them on a 12 hourly, and I don't think we've got that. Might be wrong. Oh, we do have that actually. We do have that. But there's still quite a distance, a big gap between the two of these here. Now, it's not a great performer, clearly. It's been going down pretty much since its entrance onto Binance, and its value has gone down over 10 times. So, it's not a great looking coin at all. However, we do have an incoming death cross. It's not golden cross. We do have an incoming golden cross taking place on the 4 hourly, which looks like it might be achieved at some point tomorrow if we can hold above the 200 exponential. Don't know what caused this. Probably just a lot of FOMOing. We see a lot of FOMOing going on off the back of Matic's moves, to be honest with you, and a few others. It's not all Matic, but there's a lot of these small cap coins that are basically getting pushed up. These IEO coins seem to be finding a bit of a boost, and a lot of them do by default, apart from BitTorrent token, which is basically just turned to pretty much the closest thing you can find to a zero balance, which is a shame, because I did trade that coin and did quite well out of it, and it's only when BitTorrent Speed came out it just killed itself, it just died. So I'm not even looking at that one at the moment, because that one's just still very bearish to me. But Dusk looks like it could have a little bit of a pump in the not too distant future. The only problem I've got is the fact that the chart is so incredibly bearish, basically making new lows pretty much all the time. The last and lowest low that we found ourselves at was only a couple of weeks ago, so that to me is one reason to stay away from it. This could cause a pump, but I don't know as we'd have continuation. Celer. So a lot of people talk about Celer because Celer did okay when it came out. I suppose it trended alongside Matic, did its sort of thing, but since then it's just been going down ever since. I mean, at its all-time high when it came out, it was over 3 cents. Now we've gone all the way down to pretty much half a cent. So when we're looking at the chart here on the 12 hourly, what we see is similar to the way that one looks. Weaving in and out of the 50 exponential moving average, looking messy to me. We're not been able to support ourselves above that. Basically, to me, doesn't look like accumulation. We're making new lows each time. That's redistribution you're looking at there, not accumulation. So the fact that we broke up above it now and we tested the 200 exponential moving average for the first time since all the way back here. What was that? July. It's nothing to write home about. It's nothing to get excited about. And for people that are thinking of throwing their money into this coin, I wouldn't really do it, to be honest with you. Again, we've made a brand new low here, which was only a couple of weeks ago. It's a scary time to be putting any money into a coin that's only just recently made its a new low. This pump here hasn't been caused by anything other than probably association with Matic. I don't expect this to continue. And we finally finish on Matic, which to me would be the coin that you just want to keep your money in, to be honest with you. I'll show you a little what I talk about when we look at these charts. I'll show you something. So when we talk about a coin looking healthy, okay, this obviously isn't very healthy. This was a pump and a dump, but when we started to come down to these levels, so this is where we put our bottom in, all the way back down here in August. We didn't revisit that low again. So this was a Coinbase announcement, so that was FOMO. But then when we finally started to reaccumulate, it was actually here. And you can see how constructive the daily wicks, this is daily candles we're talking here. You can see how these daily candles stayed above the 50 exponential moving average. That is accumulation at that point. Unlike Celer and 1, where it waved in between, in and out, in and out, in and out, we stayed above it, and every time we came down to touch it, we had little pumps, little pumps, little pumps, little pumps, little pumps, testing it, but it was gradually growing ever so slightly, ever so small, moving up. And it was only very small, but it was moving up all the time. But you can see that it was stayed above that level, which was standard accumulation time. So in all this time that it was doing that, it was going up ever so slightly. It allowed the moving averages to begin to reset, and then in doing that, what it did is it actually formed golden crosses on the Sats, and also golden crosses on Tether. So the Sats came first, and that's when we started to realise that there was going to be some bullish moves take place. We had a golden cross take place here. That's when we started to get excited. So obviously I make videos on Matic quite frequently, but then when I saw that's a technical golden cross on a daily, which is the textbook golden cross incident, and then we knew that that's going to cause a pump, which in turn would then create a golden cross here on Tether, which again would pump it up even more. Then on top of that, we smashed through a variety of different resistances, which also made it go bullish as well. You can also say that we had this Ichimoku cloud cross here. Even though it's a very small, immature chart in itself, we did get one which said that there was going to be continuation from this candle here, and we have had all of those. So, you know, when you throw all the technical analysis on the table, Matic hit every single nail on the head. And when we look at all these other opportunities or alternatives like Celer, Dusk, Link, Ravencoin, One, FET, none of these coins actually do anything like what Matic's done. They've not got the same setups. They're messy. They're not the same. It's just not the same. So if you're looking for an alternative for Matic to put your money into another coin, and you're asking yourself, could it be one of these? Because I see on Twitter and things that people are thinking about doing that. I would perhaps maybe think again that perhaps maybe none of these coins are better than what you're already involved in. I think it would appear to me that Matic still has, and I know it sounds crazy, but it still has some room to move up. I think the gains that you would receive on Matic, even at this level, and again, I'm not a financial advisor, this isn't financial advice, so don't trade anything on if you think I've influenced you. That's not my intention. I'm just letting you know how these charts look and what it takes for a coin to do something like this. I personally would feel more comfortable having my money remain in Matic until at least it reaches its all-time high, and probably higher, because once we've reached our all-time high, you know, we could go into a blue sky breakout. We could be looking at 5, 6, maybe even 7 to 10 cent areas. I think 10 cent would be quite unlikely, but we would see more growth after we hit certain precursors, such as the all-time high with the Satoshi value, which is, I believe, about 573. Yeah, 573. That will cause a nice pump, and that should then complete the all-time high area of 45 cent, 4.5 cent with Matic, and it's at that point there where we might want to start taking profits when we're reaching into the 5.5 cent area, which I think is quite likely with Matic the way it's going. So again, if you're thinking of, you know, taking profit and put it in one of these coins, I'd be quite wary Nothing is going to do this that Matic's already done. The reason being is that they don't have that same setup, and it's the setup that's taken several months to complete, which has created this move in the first place. Without this this area here, which looks to the untrained eye, I suppose, quite uneventful, without something like that, you're unlikely to have something like this. You might do, it would be FOMO though, and it would be unstable. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Hope that was interesting for you, and I hope you have a nice evening. Take it easy.